At this time, the war was breaking out in Germany. I begged my father to help me leave the country and escape the war. To my surprise, my father agreed to help me and he paved my way to India.
Ernst was forced to cross the Swiss border into Italy like so many others escaping Germany. Traveling was arduous, and after weeks of traveling alone, he boarded a ship in Genoa, sailing for Colombo in Sri Lanka, then known as Ceylon.
I suffered a bad accident in Colombo. I broke my knee. This was a devastating experience, but with all the determination I could muster, my knee healed perfectly in a matter of weeks. I was then ready to pursue my goal, dance school in Madras. A month after I landed in Bombay, I was fortunate enough to be a weekend guest of a Maharaja and his son, the prince, at their palace. Realizing how determined I was to learn the Indian dance styles, the prince became my benefactor and helped me find the best teachers in southern India at the school in Madras.
By tradition, only male students of Indian birth were admitted to schools of dance in India or accepted as students of gurus of dance. Ernst was admitted as the only blue-eyed European in the dance school. He was the oldest. Others were 8 to 13 years old.
Asoka explained to me that to learn the technical movements of Indian dance is a monumental task. These are his sketches to help him remember each placement of the fingers. There are 9 basic movements of the head, 8 glances of the eyes, 6 movements of the eyebrows, 4 of the neck, and 4,000 combined gestures of the hands, legs, and postures of the body.
The Maharaja of Kapurthala had recognized the talents of both Asoka and Zora. He had a plan. He contrived a meeting between them. He wanted them to dance together. The plan succeeded. Not only did they dance together, but they fell in love, and within a year they were married and on their way to a career that would take them around the globe.
Lama Govinda attended our wedding and gave me the name Sujata. From that time on, we were known as Sujata and Asoka, both on stage and off.
One thing about Asoka, he knew the talents of his wife, he knew the possibilities, and I feel that she knew his talents for design and choreography. On stage, they were 2 spotlights, focused on their one love.
A reviewer from the Bombay Times wrote, "Sujata and Asoka will certainly become India's ambassadors of goodwill throughout the world. They are very beautiful."
Well, rasa is the basic idea that controls entire dance, actually. Because rasa means sentiment, and it is the function of a dancer to evoke that sentiment in the audience. And as he represents this particular rasa through various movements, some of which are called mudras. Mudras are gestures. It is translated as gestures. So these are gestures, and there are hand gestures and eye gestures and neck and the movement of the entire body, really, in different dance systems according to each school. And these evoke that rasa not only in the dancer really is recreating this through various mudras and the rhythm and the beat and his acting, his dancing in the audience. And therefore the audience is a very important part in Indian dancing, because the audience has to understand the language of the dancer as to what each mudra stands for.
One of the most remarkable features of Sujata was her hands. She had exquisite hands. When Asoka spoke of his return to Germany after the war, he would break into tears. It had been 10 years since he left, and for him it was a terrible experience to see the destruction and aftermath of the war.
For the first time, Asoka's family, mother, father, and 2 sisters, attended a performance, and all were thrilled to see him and to meet his beautiful wife. During their stay, the Germans voted Sujata the most beautiful woman in the world. They performed extensively throughout Europe and Asia for royalty and packed houses. But then came the offer from the United States, their dream come true.
In 1949 and 1950, American audiences had very little interest in Indian dance. In the early 1900s, Ruth St. Denis had introduced Indian dance to America, and it was wonderfully accepted and quite popular. And as soon as she stopped dancing, the interest began to fade. Certainly during the war years, there wasn't much interest. And with the exception of the Indian community, it was very difficult to even see an Indian dancer. The Indian community would invite dancers to come and they would host programs, but Western audiences had a very hard time dealing with the exoticness of the music and the length of the programs and the lack of understanding of the themes of the dance itself. So a great vacuum had been created in theatrical performances featuring Indian dance.